Our chocolate butter cake is a two-stage cake. For our chocolate butter cake, we want to go ahead and melt the chocolate. Chop the chocolate into small pieces and place it over a water bath. Be sure that the bowl is not touching the water down below. When you melt chocolate in a water bath, you want to be sure that the water is not so high that it's creating steam that will come up over the side of the bowl and possibly seize your chocolate. Chocolate's worst enemy is water, and just a couple of drops will make it seize into a tight ball. You want to be sure to occasionally stir your chocolate as it's melting and bring the melted chocolate up and push the chocolate that hasn't melted down to the bottom where the heat is again. Be very careful when you're melting chocolate not to get it hotter than 120 degrees. Beyond 120 degrees, some bitter, unpleasant aftertastes begin to develop. The chocolate called for in this recipe is an unsweet chocolate, otherwise known as baker's chocolate, chocolate liqueur, or cocoa mass. This refers to the chocolate product that contains no sugar. Only ingredients are cocoa liqueur and cocoa butter. Once your chocolate is completely melted, remove it from the heat and place it to one side. Our chocolate butter cake is a two-stage cake. This is considered the first stage of the two-stage mixing method. We place our butter in the bowl. You may substitute all-purpose shortening in this recipe. Next, we are going to place our flour, our baking powder, and our salt into the bowl. This cake will be beaten or mixed. Therefore, we're going to use a paddle. Turn it on low. If the flour begins to puff up, turn it off briefly and turn it back on again. Normally, mixing flour for a long period of time creates gluten, which makes the product tough and chewy. The goal in this step is to coat the granules of flour with the fat, in this case with the butter. Doing this will allow us to continue to have a tender cake, even though we will be intensively mixing the flour. Once our mixture starts to become a paste, turn the mixer off, add your sugar, and about 2/3 of the milk. This is also an excellent time to add your flavoring. In this case, our flavorings will be vanilla. Begin to mix in the sugar, 2/3 of the milk, and your vanilla. You want to mix this on medium speed until you get a nice, smooth, light batter. In the meantime, go ahead and combine your remaining milk and your eggs. These do not have to be completely mixed. I'm just breaking up the eggs a little bit so that they'll mix in. This chocolate butter cake is also a good example of what we refer to as a high ratio cake. When we say high ratio, we mean that it contains a lot of sugar. You frequently want to stop your mixer, scrape your paddle, the sides, and the bottom of your bowl. Once you have a light and airy batter, you will slowly begin to add the eggs and the other milk. Slowly add your liquid, allowing it to completely blend into the rest of the mixture before adding any more. Slowly adding your eggs allows it to create a nice emulsion. Anytime you're making cakes, you want to be sure that all of your ingredients are at room temperature so that your emulsion is maintained. An emulsion can be broken, which means that the water has now separated from the fat, by adding the liquids too quickly, by adding ingredients that are too different in temperature, or over-mixing. Once you've added your final little bit of egg, be sure to scrape the bowl and then beat the batter for 3 to 5 minutes. While your batter is mixing, you want to go ahead and get your cake pans ready. You want to lightly grease the sides of the pan. Remember, pan spray is just there to release the cake. It's not an ingredient. Once your batter has beaten for 3 to 5 minutes, it's now time to add your chocolate. Once you take it off the mixture is when you want to go and get the chocolate that you set to one side earlier. Take 1/4 to 1/3 of your batter and add it to your chocolate. This process is tempering, which is combining two ingredients that are different temperatures. Be sure when you're mixing this to get the bottom and the sides of the bowl really well. This is the good stuff. Be sure to mix this in completely before adding it in to the rest of your batter. When it's completely mixed, return it to the bowl and mix it in well. We don't have to worry about folding the batter in because this is a heavy batter that is chemically leavened. When we say something that's chemically leavened, it means that the air pockets in it are provided by either baking powder, baking soda. Once your batter is completely mixed together, it's time to get your cake pans. Take your batter and evenly divide it between the two cake pans. This batter will rise during the baking process. You want to fill your pan about 2/3 of the way full.